Hello and welcome back to 10 Minutes of Astrology. My name is Shay, your favorite astrologer on the internet, your favorite Nostradamus wannabe who is gonna keep it real with you, is one of a kind all the time, and going to do forever if I don't just get started. So check the housekeeping in the comments section for more information. And I am going to talk about Venus in Scorpio now from approximately October 8th, 2027 to November 1st, 2027. Venus is the planet of love and relationships. Scorpio is the ruler of the darkness, the depths, the genitals, and sexual deviant nature. It is very observant. Now, the first alignment that I'm going to discuss here is an opposition to Chiron, which is retrograde in Taurus at approximately 3 degrees. This opposition is how we're relating in this kind of more mysterious, laid back, not as really involved, very like we're relating to ourselves and to others in a way that we don't really want to. Oh, look, my cat. She watching a squirrely. She's so happy there's a squirrely. Sorry, I just saw that. I thought it was too cute. So the way that we're relating in a very dark, mysterious, intense way to everyone, it's not that we're not approachable. It's just we are very guarded. We're keeping our hearts very guarded at this time. And that is opposite our values and our home structure and the material objects that we have that are supposed to be helping heal us at this time. And we have a decision here. Are we going to guard our hearts and guard ourselves and guard our most uh, inner vulnerabilities? Or are we going to allow the external environment to try and help heal us and heal these wounds and mend us? There's a really big decision that only you can make, because oppositions are either going to work or they're not. It's either going to function or it isn't. There's no gray area. Oppositions are where you make your decisions. And an opposition is probably the most felt alignment besides like a kite or the Star of David or something, really giant. But normal alignments and normal aspects, opposition is felt the most. So here you have to decide, am I going to be this distant, almost callous person that has been so wounded and so destroyed that there's no coming back from this? Scorpio represents the phoenix rising from the ashes. So here, your relationships, especially with yourself, are you going to rise out of that? Or are you going to stay in it? And, if you rise out of that, you're going to allow your external environment, these material objects and the routines that you've begun making for your home and for your values and those things to help heal you at this time. We then have a couple of different things happening: a conjunction to Mercury, an inconjunct to Neptune, and a square to Pluto, all at 4 degrees. So we're going to start with the conjunction to Mercury, retrograde in Scorpio. So a lot of times you'll hear you don't want to do certain things when Mercury is retrograde. And here, what you don't want to do is to overthink your what you are internalizing and what you are trying to hide and the things that you're trying to keep covered and keep mysterious. You don't want to overthink whether or not you're going to express that, because Mercury is about small group communication, it's about movement, it's planning, it's, especially local travel. And so I don't want you to overthink. That's what you're trying to avoid here, is overthinking and getting trapped in your head and trapped in your heart and trapped in the past, especially because Scorpio can definitely hold a grudge and hold on to things out of spite and like turn it around and use it against you. And so we don't want to overthink those things and get trapped inside of those things. When Mercury is retrograde, we also don't want to really over communicate here, because Scorpio with Venus here especially, we don't want to give all of our cards away. And so both of these planets are in conjunct Neptune in Aries, which is kind of against God. You're not letting basically your spirit do the work. You're not letting your higher self, your higher power come into play here and act for you, because Aries is a lot about action. And so not only are our hearts and our communications guarded, but we're also guarding ourselves from the higher power, from the greater creator, from our higher spirit. And that's not healthy either. And all the same, we feel like we can't trust anyone. We can't trust it. Like, we can't trust ourselves. We can't trust our God. We can't trust our mind. Like, we have like fallen into the chaos of darkness inside here, because why would I trust a God that keeps acting out in anger, that keeps being childish, that isn't doing its job? And why am I going to trust myself when I keep faltering and failing and screwing up? And it's just like everything is falling apart. I'm sorry. I'm sorry that I don't have the happiest astrology predictions ever, but I give it to you real and raw and unsugar-coated. But I'm also a Capricorn, so I'm not really known to sugarcoat anything. We also have a square, because this is just going to keep getting more positive here, isn't it? We also have a square to Pluto, which is Scorpio's home placement, retrograde Aquarius. So all this transformation and stuff with your friend groups and with society is not working with how you're internalizing, how you're communicating, how you're feeling, how you're relating, how you're any of this. Like, it's just the world outside is nightmare chaos to you. And you just, like, is this the start of the mass delusion that I see and the mass psychosis that I see, which comes up later? Maybe. Because this is like deep in, we were just rocking it off here and just running full blast over this cliff. Because how society is transforming and changing is not working with you. And you're not working with it either. This is, what is it? When the police arrest you and they read you your Miranda rights, you have the right to remain silent. I recommend you use it here, because if you speak, it's just going to be, it's not going to do you good here. It's not going to do anyone good, because you're going to, and now Scorpios do have other things coming up very shortly, again with God in a couple of years, the yads that we're gonna have. So like this, you may want to be very careful how you react, because your karma could come around like it may be much delayed karma later. So Scorpios don't want to spin it and use their stinger here, because even though it may feel good at the time and even though it may feel right now, it's gonna come back. So be very careful about using your stinger here. It is better for you to remain silent. In my opinion, do what you will with that information. Then we have an inconjunct to Uranus, and Jim, this just keeps getting better, doesn't it? At 9 degrees. This is approximately October 15th, 2027. And Octobers are usually the worst month for me, so this doesn't come as a surprise to me. But the inconjunct to Uranus here is the crazy chaos in every direction is not relating to how we are wanting to relate to ourselves and be into ourselves and just nope out of this whole existence. And the crazy chaos of the world is like, join us, join the circus, join the party. And poor Venus in Scorpio is like, I'm so good. This is also an aspect of criminality. Anytime Scorpio and Gemini come together, I always see petty crimes like vandalization or just small theft types of things. So it could be some sort of combination of that crazy chaos with how you are relating to this world, to the darkness, to the crazy. And so, if you, I never recommend being a criminal or committing any crimes, but I see petty crimes here in this moment. So if you are trying to be the karma for somebody that you feel like needs it from you and you can't wait for God or the universe's karma to come around, you're going to take that initiative and do this here. And I don't recommend that because if you don't do it correctly, it's going to come back on you later. So I am the type, I'm going to let live and let God, because I'm not trying to rack up any bad karma. I don't want none of it. I want all good karma. Because I want my existence to be done after this. I don't ever want to reincarnate ever again. So I'm doing everything that I can to make sure I never, ever, ever have to come back anywhere in any existence. I just want to be light and disperse. So you do what you want to, but that's what I see here. We have a sextile, the first really positive alignment in all of this, I think. We have a sextile to Jupiter in Virgo, which is if you're gonna plan the details of a crime and how to get away with it. This is that, which great for you. I'm so glad that your darkness and your scheming and your thinking things through in this big major scale of a way is great for how you relate to okay. Approximately October 27th, 2027, we have an inconjunct to Saturn, which is retrograde in Aries. I told you, this is at 23 degrees. I told you this is not the right thing to do. This is not how you and your values and what you're trying to be in your human existence this is not the correct way to go about it. Even your childish wisdom knows that how you're relating and what you're doing is the wrong thing to do. And your heart is like, but I've been hurt. I have to be the karma. I have to make it come back around. And the wisdom that you really have is like, you didn't know. Did you really? You didn't. And it's making you feel like a small little child, and then you're going to internalize and you're going to go back through the darkness and you're going to go back through the beating yourself up and then being angry about it. And then you want to forget just as quickly as you did. And it's like, all of this is going to be very irritating and frustrating, and you're doing it to yourself here. Y'all don't see this. Y'all are doing it to yourselves. But okay, then Venus goes into Sagittarius approximately November 1st, 2027. And that's going to be where we're like, we don't care. We don't even care. We've lost anything that we could care about, anything that we could give a damn. We don't. So am I the only one in this world that just wants it to work and be good? Like, am I really? Please put in the comments that I'm not alone and I'm not crazy and that I'm not the only one that wants things to actually be good. I know that this wasn't like a good reading, But like the rest of the crazies don't make this easier. And I could try to pull good out of this, but I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I see exactly what I see, and I'm going to tell you exactly what I see. And if you want to be a better human and have a better human race and for things to actually function, then follow me, please, because we need light, bright, good, positive, realistic, intellectual people in this world to make this work. Y'all quit being stupid. Not that I think the people that watch me are stupid. I think that you are trying to be aware, because if you have more information, you can be more prepared. But like the rest of the world, what are y'all doing? I'm gonna go. Please check my comments for my housekeeping. Peace out, fam. All the love. Please press the buttons. Thank you.